Hi scientists, Miss Schmidt, here to teach you about how you can be a scientist in your home. I have 4 ideas for you. You can try one of them or you can try all of them. I really just want you to have fun with this. So one thing that I know about being a scientist is we like to make close observations, really carefully look at things. So we've been studying plants, and one thing I know about plants is that they start from seeds. So when I'm eating my fruits or vegetables that come from plants, those fruits and vegetables usually have some sort of seed in them. So when you're eating this week a fruit or vegetable, I want you to be a scientist and carefully look for where the seed is in your fruit or vegetable. So I'm going to show you some from my kitchen, things that I like to eat. The first one, a lot of you I know have eaten before, apples. Okay, so now sometimes seeds are pretty easy to find in your fruit or vegetable. So since I've eaten so many apples before, I know that the seeds tend to be in the middle. Now these seeds are kind of tucked inside. So oh my gosh, there's one. I think there's another one in here. Oh my gosh, scientist, I found 2 seeds. I don't know if I can hold them up because they're so tiny. 2 seeds inside the apple that I had. And the amazing thing is, if you think about it, from this tiny little seed, an apple tree would eventually grow. It takes a long time for that to happen, but it's kind of cool to think about that. Okay, now sometimes seeds aren't quite so easy to find on your fruits and vegetables. You have to be a real careful scientist. So another fruit that I have is a strawberry. Okay, so I will tell you the seeds are not in the inside of a strawberry, but actually the seeds are on the outside. So I'm going to show you by pointing with my knife. Wow, all of those little dots that you see on the outside are seeds. The strawberry is covered with seeds, which makes me think when I eat this strawberry, I'm eating the seeds as well. Interesting. Okay, so don't forget when you're eating fruits and vegetables, stop and be like a scientist and observe where the seeds are. So the second thing you can do is an experiment. Scientists like to conduct experiments, and you can use the seeds that you're finding from your fruits and vegetables. So if I wanted to take the apple seeds that I found, I could be a scientist and experiment by planting them and see what happens. So I can take my seeds and I can take them outside and put them in some dirt because we know seeds need dirt so they can germinate or grow. Okay, and I'd also want to find a spot that gets some good sunlight, and I would need some water to water my seeds. Now, if I don't want to plant them outside, I'd rather plant some seeds inside, and I don't have a flower pot, I can use something cool like this. I made this myself from a water bottle. I cut the top off so your parents could do that for you. They could cut the top off of a water bottle. I went out to my yard and I got the dirt, the soil that the seeds would need, and I stuck some seeds inside here from my apple. Okay? And once again, I didn't forget I need to water it. I'm going to put this in a sunny window in my house so it can get some nice sunlight. Now the thing about this experiment, it takes a long time, many, many days to see if anything will grow, because seeds usually do not grow in 1 or 2 days. They take a long time, and they're going to need you to make sure that they get enough water. So after a few days, you might have to water them again. But it's just kind of fun to see what you think might grow from there, if anything. I picked apple seeds, but I also have a lemon too. I think I might want to try my lemon, or I have some green bean seeds I might want to try that I think will grow a little quicker than these apple seeds. But you know, it's just fun. It's an experiment to see what happens. So the third thing that you can do as a scientist is you can record things about plants that you observe. So when we record as a scientist, we carefully draw and write what we see so that we can remember about it. So for this one, I'm going to switch out of my glasses into my sunglasses because I want to go take a walk and see what plants I notice. So when I take you outside in just a minute, I'm going to take you to my front yard to see that you can look at some of the plants I have in my yard, but you can also take a walk with your family and see what plants you notice on your walk. If you want to record while you're outside, you would need something to lean on, make like a desk. We know we have clipboards that we've used in class. If you don't have a clipboard, you could use cardboard or a book if you want to do your recording outside. You would also need some kind of paper. I'm using notebook paper. You can use scrap paper like an envelope. Oh yeah, here's my envelope. I'm always using envelopes for things. You know, it doesn't have to be fancy. And you would need something to record with like a pencil. Okay, so I'm going to take you outside to see some really pretty flowers I have so we can make a quick observation. I can show you how I would record. Okay. Okay, scientist, I'm outside in front of my house and I have some plants here that I'm going to try my best to show you with my camera here. So I'm going to turn this. I'm going to hold it right above here. And the cool thing about what I'm showing you is that if you look carefully, the plants have different shaped leaves. In fact, in one plant, the leaves are different colors, the flowers are different shapes, and the flowers are different colors. So those are all really important when we go to record. Okay, so now that we took some time to look, I'm going to go and record what it is that I saw. Okay, scientists, so I'm back inside from my quick little nature walk out there to look at the plants in my yard. And I did some careful drawing with my pencil. These are the red flowers that I saw. Also in my yard, there are some blue flowers that I drew. And I know you didn't get to see it with my camera, but there was a butterfly flying around the flowers. So you might notice some insects around the flowers or plants that you're observing. So I drew that as well. Okay, and then you can see the other part, and this I was doing inside because it's kind of warm outside, a little cooler to color inside. I started to take my crowns and carefully record the colors of the flowers. So this one, obviously I'm gonna be doing blue. When I go and color this one in, it's gonna be red. And the leaves will be green. And my butterfly that I saw was orange. So I'm gonna be a careful scientist and doing my recordings. So that's another thing that you can do as a scientist. And the last one, okay, is that you can make a model. Okay, so this one you get to use your creativity. So it's like being an artist and a scientist. And you can find whatever you have in your house. As I said, use things from around the house to make a model of a plant. The important thing to remember, since it's science, that you have to include all the parts of a plant when you make your model. So you would need the roots that grow down in the ground that hold the plant in place. You would need the stem, okay, that grows up and it holds the plant up. You would need the leaves of the plant. And the ones I made all had flowers. So I included flowers in all the models that I made. You don't have to have a flower in yours. It's kind of up to you. So I'm just going to kind of quickly show you some things that I found around my house and how I put them together, and then let you have fun with it and do it however you'd like. So when I was making the model, I wanted something to put my model on. And I couldn't find any paper in my house at the time. So, scientist, I used the back of a pizza box. Because, you know, I like to be an earth saver and reuse things. So I cut that out, and ta-da! Here's where I put my models that I made. So I'm going to show you each model and tell you how I made it. So this first model, I found this straw and I said, wow, a straw would make a perfect stem, and that's part of a plant. So I taped it down on there because I didn't have any glue. Okay, and I drew the roots with a crown. And then for the leaves, I actually had an envelope but I colored green and I just drew a leaf shape and cut that out and I glued those down. And I don't know if you noticed, but the middle of my flower is an egg carton. Yeah, I had this empty egg carton and I cut one section out. I had to stick the straw in it. So the straw is a little bit inside there, okay, in the middle to kind of hold that in place. And then I wanted to make petals. So once again, I used an envelope and I colored orange and I just cut out some petal shapes and I glued them down. So I had a glue stick I could find then. So yeah, there's the first model. The second one I did totally from envelope. Well, actually, I think that green, wait, I take that back. The green is some sticky note paper that I had that I cut out and I glued down. And then this is from an envelope. I colored it red with my crowns and I made this shape for this flower. And I used glue stick to glue it all down. Oh, and I included the roots. That's part of the plant. And then for the last one I did, I was in my kitchen and I saw a cupcake liner. And I'm like, wow, that would make such a cool flower for a plant. So I used the envelope. I colored it green and I cut out the pieces. Okay, and I cut my cupcake liner. I don't know if you can tell. It was white, so I colored it purple. I didn't do a very neat job. You guys could probably be a little bit fancier than me. And then I wanted to make a middle, so I got a bottle cap and I put it in the middle and I stuck it down with some tape because that's what I could find at the time to make it stick. I mean, you know, I could have colored in the middle a different color than the purple. There's so many ways I could have done this. So these are just some ideas for you if you would like to try to make a model of a plant using things from around your house. So remember, there's 4 ideas that you can try, and the main thing is I want you to have fun, scientists. Okay, so till next time, see ya.